Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Marvel's WandaVision. Going straight into the second episode now. Since the show had a 2 episode premiere, so into the second episode. The first one was great. The first one, I loved it. It was a brilliant kind of opening to the season, to the series, and to the story. And to what kind of things we could expect, especially from the sitcom side, like it actually being half sitcom, half drama. They kind of like let us in with a lighter, cheerier kind of 50s sitcom style, which was great, from the aspect ratio being different to the black and white filters, and the kind of overall kind of theme being that like parodying sitcoms from the 50s and everything. So it was a great opening, and it really set the tone for Wanda's kind of dream life being like a suburban lifestyle, with her and Vision having like a happy married life and having neighbors and just living like a normal life, like not especially just like not having to worry about being Avengers or being superheroes, just like living like a normal life. They use their powers for sure. Like Wanda uses her powers and stuff to cook and to clean and everything, and to even boop some magic, like her wedding rings on their fingers at the end to actually officiate the fact that they're actually now a married couple. And even Vision going to work and using his supercomputer speed to type stuff up. So they still use their abilities, but just in like for the most part, they do actually strive to live a normal and happy life, which is cool. So we had that, and we even got to meet some of the neighbors. Catherine Hahn plays, I think she might play different characters in each one, because I think this is going to be traveling down the period. It's actually going to be traveling down the time period. So I don't think she plays the same character in every one, but I think she does play, like, in general. She does play like the neighbor character, or like I think he's called like the nosy neighbor. I think she's called the nosy neighbor. And even from the trailers, I think she has like a generally kind of curious kind of vibe about her. So yeah, but in the first episode, she played Agnes, and she was there to help her cook and brought ingredients over, and even dropped off a pineapple at the front door and everything. So that was cool. So seeing more of Catherine Hahn, this should be interesting. And we had Mr. and Mrs. Hart, the two neighbors. Mr. Hart, who was Vision's boss, and came over for dinner with his wife. And when they came over, well, when they started eating, things actually went sideways. Like they actually started questioning what Vision and Wanda's backstory was, where they came from, why they came here, how long they'd known each other. So when you start questioning the history between Wanda and Vision, that's when things start getting tricky, because that's when their actual history doesn't really coincide or match up to the life they're living right now. So it kind of leaves Wanda and Vision at a kind of blank slate. And I think one thing I haven't really like remembered to bring up until now is also the fact that, I wonder if the reason that they don't bring it up is because they're uncomfortable talking about a history where one of them where they both initially died, and they ended up having to save the universe. So, like if they're uncomfortable talking about being Avengers, or if it's because Wanda has not only created like an alternate future for them, but also by doing so, maybe she's gone even further and erase their past. Cause she doesn't want that past for them, but she wants the future for them, where they're happy and they're together and they're having kids or whatever. So I do wonder if maybe, or like even if she hasn't erased the history, materially, maybe she's actually erased their memory, so like they genuinely can't remember where they come from, because they're so focused on creating the perfect future that they've just they've ended up maybe actually erasing the past that they come from, and that's why they have no answer. Like where did we come from? What did we do before this? But I don't know. It's just a theory that I've had, that like up until now I've just haven't really thought about it well enough to remember it. So yeah, but I guess we'll see. But I mean, we haven't delved into the sci-fi stuff too much. They've really kind of focused in like a really well executed way. They've actually focused on actually setting the tone with the whole sitcom style and the kind of family life that they're living now. So I think as we ease into it, we'll see more, weird stuff happening that's going to make Wanda and Vision question the reality of their, not so happy suburban life, and see what's what. But yeah, and then of course, as we go down the line, we'll see more characters. We'll see Monica Rambeau showing up at some point, and Darcy and Jimmy. Like, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So I look forward to the journey. I cherish the journey as it goes on. And from here on out, I think we actually do just get one episode a week. But we were lucky enough with Marvel gifting us with a 2 episode premiere. So yeah, that is very, very cool. But yeah, but I think at the end we actually did see, as the kind of closing credits for the WandaVision show started playing, we actually did see the camera zooming out to like a older looking TV, and there were like multi-monitor setups, and someone was actually monitoring the show from the outside. So that I think that is like a hint that, you know, people have already caught wind of this weird thing happening, where there's like some kind of alternate reality that Wanda's created, and maybe Jimmy and his boys have already set up camp, and there's already the US, you know, military or whatever just investigating already. So I think that's like a glimpse of what there is going on the outside of the neighborhood. So yeah, I guess we'll see. But that is pretty much all I have. I assume, because of the fact that they've taken inspiration from other sitcoms over the years, I think the 50s one, I didn't really catch on to anything in particular, because I quite obviously did not grow up on 50s or 60s or 70s or even 80s sitcoms. 90s, I don't really know if I can call myself a 90s kid, being born in 98, but you know, I think the vast majority. I mean, I've seen clips here and there now because YouTube is a thing and people re-upload stuff, and that is a thing. But I didn't really grow up with them, so I don't know how well I can actually catch out on references, or you know, catch out on different Easter eggs and thematic, you know, bits and bobs here and there. So I don't know, but I'm more than happy to enjoy, you know, like whatever they do throw our way. So yeah, that is pretty much all I've got from the last one. So on to episode 2 of Marvel's WandaVision. Let's go. As always, this is going to be the highlight reel of reactions. So if you guys want to be able to watch the entire full-length reaction, the full episode along with me, then that reaction is going to be over on Patreon. So you can go check that over there. That's going to be pretty cool too. But yeah, WandaVision episode 2. Let's go.
Only your lovely rose bushes.
That's all? Are you using your night vision?
Sorry, my love, I see nothing amiss.
Vision has night vision?
Absolutely no reason to be... No!
Okay, that was creepy. Okay. Oh, damn.
One of us should really
And two become one, just like the Spice Girls said.
Yes, one of us should.
It's just the trees. Legit, just the trees. How could Vision not see that even with night vision?
Yes, I must
Yeah.
say I'm rather proud of myself.
Yes, dear.
Get the light.
Oh, damn. Oh, they gonna get freaky. They gonna get freaky. You making babies already? Okay, that's so cool. WandaVision. What's this based on? Starring Wanda Maximoff. What is this based off of? This seems familiar. Okay. What is this based off of? WandaVision.
As you are.
Oh, Jesus. You can't come up with something better than abracadabra. Damn, it worked. Okay, yeah, that's great, yeah.
And we're gonna knock their socks off. Especially with you wearing this.
Oh, that's actually the rest of your costume.
That's very sparkly. Very sequiny.
That's me off as well, actually.
Whoa, something with colour. Red and yellow. Something with colour. A helicopter. Who brought that in? Who dropped that by? Oh, that symbol. I think I recognize that symbol. I've seen it on Twitter.
You get in with Dottie, and it'll be smooth sailing.
It can't be the same Dottie, right? Not the one from Agent Carter. What's her last name? Dottie Underwood? I can't remember. Yeah, that's a different actress. Yeah.
Say, those pants are peachy cute.
That's Monica Rambeau!
The other ladies are in skirts. I
That's
was
Monica!
a few hours until showtime, so a little less cross chatter and a little more focus.
We get Monica Rambeau this early? It's only to episode 2.
Are counting on us. I'm Wanda.
I'm, Geraldine.
Geraldine.
I'm irritated.
No, you're Dottie.
Raspberry or cheese filled?
Oh, neither for me, thank you. I don't eat food. What I mean to say is that I don't eat food in between meals, but at meal times. Woof, I'm a regular eater. Is it?
That's a mood. Being a regular eating machine, that's a mood. A constant mood.
I too have some top secret gossip to share. Norm here's a communist.
And apparently that's hilarious.
Did you hear the man? He doesn't eat food. Is gum food?
Gum is not
My
food.
understanding is that it's purely for mastication.
Oh, no, I don't do that.
Well, when in Westview. Cheers.
They did
You're
not.
such a
They
funny
did
guy.
not
That's
just
the
make
thing,
that
people
joke.
You're all hot and bothered about.
Oh. Oh, the gum. It's going into his CPU. Oh no, his cogs.
All right, so.
Oh no.
But I assure you, I don't mean anyone any harm.
I don't believe you.
Why not, Dottie? What have you heard? What has she heard? Oh! The voice in the radio!
Who is that?
Oh.
Who's doing this to you, Wanda?
Who is doing this to you?
What?
Oh, damn, oh.
Dottie!
And she's bleeding, and her blood is not black and white. That is some pure red blood. Red blood cells right there.
And his Strucker.
Strucker? Did you say Strucker? Strucker.
He'll make time.
Like Von Strucker. Hydra. Oh, it's a Hydra watch. That's a Hydra watch.
What time is it now?
2 minutes after the last time you asked.
I don't know where he could be.
Whoa.
Oh, the gums all around his cogwheels.
Oh.
Damn.
Well, me and the boys were
Damn.
Something strange happened with
The
Dottie.
earrings are
Something strange
amazing.
happened.
Yeah, the
Before
earrings
that,
are
too, it's
amazing.
hard to explain.
She looks great in a top hat too. She looks great in a top hat, yeah.
Thank you all for coming out.
We will lie to you, and yet you will believe our little deceptions, because human beings are easily fooled due to their limited understanding of the inner
He's
workings
turning
of
very
human
London.
beings.
He's turning very, very London. Oh. Oh no. Vision. Vision. Might want to call it on the levitation. Yeah, Dottie's gonna suspect something. There. Cables. See? Cables. Cables.
See there?
A staggering feat of strength.
Oh no. He's gonna pick up the piano.
Allow me.
What?
Oh, it's cardboard cutout. Yeah, cardboard cutout. Okay. Yeah.
You weren't supposed to see how we did that trick.
That was my grandmother's piano.
Observe
Is this car?
No.
Nah.
I beg to differ. Really?
Is this your car? Is this your car? Is this your car? Is this your car?
Vision with gum in the system is basically a drunk Vision. Basically a drunk, slowed down Vision. Yeah.
It's my card.
Pardon me, Herb.
Oh, no, you did the trick right.
Well, of course it did the trick, right? I'm an illusion. Oh, stop that rabbit! I'll pull a hat out of it.
Don't pull a hat out of the rabbit.
Real star quality, don't you think?
Vision, no.
No, Vision, no.
If only you all knew our secret.
Oh!
Is that how mirrors work? Shut up, Beth.
Yeah, for now it is. Don't worry. For now it is, Bev. For now, yeah.
Gentlemen, the magnetic crystal!
Cabinet of Mysteries.
Yeah.
The magnet of crystals. I don't know why I found that so funny. The magnet of crystals.
No.
Yeah, nah, it's fine.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Monica! Monica's in the box. Yeah. Yeah, do a quick magic scan of him.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got gum in his cogwheels. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Everything's running normally again. There we go. Yeah.
Well, that really gummed up my works, didn't it? I'm not as funny without it, am I?
You two, stop right there.
Really? You're wearing the same clothes? You think she really wouldn't recognize you? Yeah, come on, Monica. You're part of the team too. Yeah. Oh, is that another helicopter?
Again, I am going to rip it out by the roots.
Is it another helicopter? Is it another helicopter that's come crashing down? Someone in a beekeeper's outfit? Beekeepers? There's a symbol on that guy's back. There's a symbol on his back.
No.
No? Oh, and she's brought some colour back into his face. And colour's coming back into the world. We're travelling forward in time.
Wanda. Who's doing this to you, Wanda?
Yeah.
Wanda.
So people are on the outside looking in, and they have questions. They definitely have questions. Okay, yeah, that is that episode. I'm gonna go back, right, and check something very quickly. Something that was right at the very beginning. Just after the recap. Yeah, okay, so this shot right here, so it looks, hold on, let me get this out of the way. It looks pretty much like they've got like, okay, not kind of multi-monitor, they've got like an old-fashioned TV in the middle, they're watching everything on, they've got some other stereo decks on the side, and like a XLR mixer on the side, and they've got like another monitor there, and there's a symbol on one of the monitors and the notebook that the person has in front of them. I recognize that symbol. I've seen it on Twitter. People have actually shared on Twitter like in theories that what they think might be coming to the MCU after Endgame, like as part of like the new phase, as part of the new story moving forward, like what they think might be coming. So it looks like a sword. It looks like, yeah, there's like a circle, then there's like it looks like a base, and then right down the middle is like a sword. So it's like a circular, but it looks like a circular-ish version of the Deathly Hallows from Harry Potter. So yeah, I mean, I see that. I see some. I think there is something called Sword in the comics. I've heard there is like an agency or something called Sword in the comics. And people are saying it actually might be what Fury is building in space, because last time we saw him in Far From Home, the real Fury was out in space aboard a spaceship with other Skrulls, and they were building something, and people thought, oh, maybe that might be Sword. So apparently it's something from the comics. So I think, yeah, I mean, if Fury's there, then it definitely has it definitely has agency vibes to it. So he might be building like a space agency or something. Maybe like hold on, excusez-moi. Maybe it would be like a space version of Shield, because I think Fury was one of the people he's like a Shield veteran, so he would know how agencies work. So I think if he's involved in it, and Sword is something like that, because I think Sword seems to be playing a role in this series. Like in this episode alone, they've had like 2, 3, 4 different kind of appearances. I assume the voice in the radio was them then. I assume this is how they kind of communicate. That they monitor on one end, and then on the other end they actually have like ways of trying to get through. So one of them being the radio, actually patching their voice through the radio. And then the guy at the end, the beekeeper who came out of the ground, the beekeeper who literally like crawled his way out from under a manhole cover. Why he was a beekeeper, I don't know. Why he was a beekeeper, like why he could not be like a Ninja Turtle. I mean, probably for copyright reasons, but why he couldn't be someone who cleans the sewage and needs to come out for some fresh air. I don't know. He just said for some reason he was a beekeeper who pushed the manhole cover out the way and decided to crawl out from under the ground. He was that, but then on the back of his beekeeping suit was that same symbol. It was fainter because it was still black and white, and it was also at night, so it was kind of fainter. Like I could still make out the outline of that same circle and somewhat the outline of the sword in the middle. So yeah, so they are involved in this somehow. So then I think if the government is involved, it might not be the U.S. government specifically. Then it could be Sword, because then if something is going on, and they all suspect that Wanda Maximoff, aka X Avenger, with magic powers, is involved, and maybe she's driving this whole weirdness operation, then maybe the government might realize that they might realize that they need to send in more than just their average government intelligence agency, and that Shield is no longer a thing. So maybe Sword is the next Shield. Maybe Sword starts off in space, and then maybe they come down occasionally. I don't know, but I don't really know what Sword is. This is all theorization based on Twitter social media fan theories, and stuff I've seen and stuff like that. So I haven't really. I don't know what Sword is in the comics, if that's what it is. And also I think the kind of whole Fury being in space and building something else thing seems pretty plausible. So I don't know, but there's also a sword there. There's a sword in a circle, and it seems they seem to have the resources necessary to monitor this whole thing and try and get in. So yeah, I guess we have to wait and see. But Sword, whoever they are, they might be involved in this. I don't know if I should look them up in case it turns out to be some kind of a spoiler. So I'm gonna avoid it. Any spoiler-free fan theories or answers you guys have, comments are open. Have at it. Feel free to kind of inform me on anything you think maybe I should know. Maybe if it's stuff that you think that they will explain in the show in their own way, then by all means leave it. But if there's any kind of basic gist that I need to know, then feel free to let me know. So that's cool. So there is some external kind of monitoring and just governmental supervision going on. So that is cool. But what struck me was the voice in the radio. The voice in the radio that came in, it knew that the voice knew Wanda's name. They kept on calling out for Wanda to try and establish a connection, and then it asked the question, who's doing this to you, Wanda? And also, I do remember that being in the trailer. I do remember. I think I watched the most recent trailer, actual trailer, not TV spot, but the actual trailer a few times. And in that same trailer, there is also a segment where the same voice says, "Who's doing this to you, Wanda?" So that then means that there's probably suspicion or theories on Sword's end, or someone else's end, that maybe Wanda isn't doing this out of her own accord, or maybe she's not doing this with her own power. Maybe it's a combination, because she is powerful enough to do this. That is the whole point of her House of M story in the comics, that she is very much powerful enough to create a whole other alternate reality, but the consequences are what's being explored and stuff. So yeah, so who's doing this to you, Wanda? So I wonder then who. I think maybe I don't know, because I'm trying to think. I think Wanda herself doesn't really know any cosmic beings. She doesn't really know many people with her gifts or with her skill sets or anything, besides from Doctor Strange. And this is meant to connect into Doctor Strange, but we haven't actually seen. I highly doubt Doctor Strange is going to be cameoing in this, but I think whatever happens here, whatever even real world consequences she suffers from in this, will definitely connect her to Doctor Strange, and then Doctor Strange will have to help sort her out, and also maybe whatever she does here ends up opening up all sorts of doors and cracks across the multiverse, and she ends up actually letting other things through and letting things out and stuff like that. So yeah, but then who's doing this to you, Wanda? But then I don't think Sword or whoever would actually have reason to question that unless they knew that someone else could be involved, because I think then it might be less deadly. It might be less doubt of Wanda's power levels and more concern for anyone else who might be using her this way. Because who would she Would she not try and do this herself? Would she really go to anyone else? I don't know, because there's been no sign that anyone else is involved at all. So I think on the one hand, it's who would she try and go to about this? Who would even let her do something like this? And also, who there was an on the other hand point I was gonna point out, and I've forgotten that now. I was gonna say maybe there should be signs that someone else is involved in this, but maybe it's the fact that the village seems this reality seems unstable. Maybe that's the sign, but I don't know. But apparently there's doubt on Sword's end that that she's not doing this alone, or that maybe this is being done to her without her knowledge. Like maybe she's being given this reality. Maybe she's being given this kind of, like visual kind of life, that the life that she wants so badly, that she herself is not questioning anything going wrong, or she's not questioning anything that's happening, or why any of this is happening, but she's just embracing it. And so it gives whoever is providing her with this, I don't know. But then I think that would take away from her doing this by herself. Like it would take away from what her power is. I don't know what it could be. I don't know why they think someone else could be doing this to her. Because I think the more plausible explanation would be that I think it could be that she herself is actually doing this. Because I think, yeah, I don't know. This show is honestly, like leveling with you guys right now. Honestly, this show is, at this point, is pretty much as mind-racking as I expected it to be. Watching the trailers, I had no idea what was going on. Watching the show, I have even less idea what's going on. So it pretty much matches expectations. But yeah, I don't know what that question could mean. Who's doing this to you, Wanda? I am, as of so far, under the impression that Wanda is in control of and responsible for creating this reality and this life all by herself. So I don't know who else could be manipulating her or using her, or how they could be doing it, or why they could be doing it. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. And obviously, again, whatever happens in this will lead directly into the events of Doctor Strange 2. So yeah, we just gotta wait and see. We just gotta wait and see what's actually in store for us. But so far, we know SWORD has some involvement in terms of monitoring and getting stuff in. The helicopter in the beginning that crashed into the bush. For one thing, that was full of color. That was like red and yellow. Like it reminded me of Tony's older, like his original Iron Man suit. The red and gold plating on that. Like it reminded me of that color scheme. So that was cool. But it was full of color in a black and white world. So it definitely came from outside her little bubble of reality. So yeah, but then that helicopter actually had the SWORD symbol on it, so that was clearly sent into that world somehow by SWORD. So that they then have two means of communication. They can send material objects into her reality and mark it with their logo for communication that way, and they can also reach in via the radio. And then there's the guy, the beekeeper, that they can just send up through the sewage and through the manhole cover. But then she's gonna ignore that. She heard that third. They went outside. They saw the guy crawling out of the manhole cover, and then she saw it. But then she said no, and then rewinded it. So I think that's further proof that she herself is in control of this reality, and she can control what she sees and what she chooses to see. So she just kind of rewinds it, ignores whatever's going on, and then proceeds to, be with Vision afterwards. So, but yeah, this episode had a lot more people. They had a lot more people, like a lot more neighbors, like pretty much more like a village full of people. Last time we only had the boss and some co-workers and the nosy neighbor, but this time we met Monica Rambeau. Grown up Monica Rambeau, played by Tiana Paris. So I did not expect that cameo so soon. I thought, trailers can be misleading, but I thought because we see her in color in the trailer, and I thought, okay, then we're not going to get into that one for at least a couple of episodes, which we did. We right at the end of this one, we actually saw Vision and Wanda actually entering the colored, the colored world now, so out of the black and white filter and into the lovely spectrum of light now. But no, in this episode, even in the older black and white sitcom kind of parody, we still got Monica Rambeau. I was so happy when she showed up. I think she came from outside too. I think she must have come from outside too, because we know that is Monica Rambeau. We know that that actress is the one playing grown up Monica Rambeau. And she has to come from outside. Like she can't just be someone fabricated by Wanda's imagination. She can't have just dreamt up Monica Rambeau. Monica Rambeau was born and raised by Carol and Maria. So how she got in, we don't know. How she actually got into that into this reality, we don't know. Or maybe she didn't get in. Maybe, I don't know, because in the trailer, she's in the trailer, Wanda asks her who she is, and then she's like, I don't know. It's like she actually has like a lapse of memory. She doesn't know who she is and everything. So I wonder, right, if Wanda actually, it makes me wonder because again, like we see also we see that that you know Jimmy Woo is in this and Darcy's in this, and he like Jimmy has like a whole pretty much like an army behind him. So I wonder if they're still on Earth, if Wanda and Vision are still on Earth, and if they are, maybe she's created like another reality, but she's still using the physical realm of Earth. Maybe she's taken over like a town or like a village on Earth. She's taken over them. She's maybe mind controlling all the citizens. Maybe she's mind controlling all the villagers. And so she's created like an alternate actual reality where their lives and their memories are different and they're living that kind of suburban life. But the suburbs, the physical plane of existence, is still on Earth, and she's created like a bubble that no one can get into or get out of. So yeah, because then I think that would that would only explain why we have Monica in here when we know that Monica is a person with her own life and her own history outside of Wanda's story and everything. So I think that would only make sense. Yeah, and I think also like that would explain how they got the helicopter in. Maybe they can't get people in unless Wanda takes control of them, or unless Wanda chooses who comes in and who goes out. But material objects they can send. But then they sent the guy through the manhole cover, so I don't know. Maybe that's like the first one. Yeah, maybe that's the first one. So maybe it's because someone she didn't recognize was coming into the world, so she didn't want that to happen. Maybe that's why. So they tried to maybe they tested going in by sending in like a physical object, and then that worked. They actually got confirmation that like the helicopter got in and Wanda found it. So maybe they thought, okay, we can get objects in. So maybe now try sending a person in. So they sent one in underground through the manhole cover. But then Wanda recognized that someone she didn't know, someone who looked very arguably creepy, like a guy in a beekeeper suit crawling out from under the ground through a manhole cover, and that is very understandably weird. So she didn't want to see that. She did not want to let him into her world just yet. So then she rewinds and pretends it never happened, and then the guy gets kicked out again and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. It doesn't sound completely implausible. I don't know if it would take away. I don't think it would take away from Wanda's power, because I think it would still mean that Wanda creates like an alternate reality where that's a thing, but she's just not like actually creating like an entire multiverse and stuff. And it would also explain how she's still on Earth. Like she didn't really leave Earth. She just kind of moved on and tried to do her own thing, and then ended up being this. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. We have to wait and see. I think it's not a half bad theory, but I don't know. I guess we have to wait and see. But yeah, we have Monica Rambeau. We have Monica Rambeau, and she played Geraldine. She played Geraldine in this, and that is yeah, it's a great name, great get up, great great appearance, great presence in the episode. It's really cool to see her, and even this early, it was a really great surprise. So yeah, Monica Rambeau, and yeah, we had Dottie. So I'm gonna check back in my notes. I haven't watched Agent Carter in a while, so you know for a fact I'm gonna be going back a while. I do remember fairly recently having reacted to the Agent Carter episode that actually had Dottie showing up, so it shouldn't be too far behind. I don't think he's in this one. Hold on, maybe it's in my bigger one. Maybe it was one of the last reactions I had in my big, giant notebook. Is it really? Have I really not reacted to Agent Carter in that long? That's not possible. Surely, I think it was... when I was in season 2, maybe? I'm pretty sure I did Agent Carter not 2 months at most, maybe. I am going super far back. There we go, Agent Carter. Dottie, okay, yeah, she killed an assassin. And she knows her shit. That's true. Okay, great, now we're gonna go even further back. Yeah, there's huge gaps between my Agent Carter reactions, and I can only apologize for that. I can only really apologize for that. That's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, I've done plenty of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Is it really before the final season of Supernatural started airing? That is a long time ago. Agent Carter, there we go. Okay, Agent Carter. Dottie Underwood, I was right. Okay, so I crawled that far back through my notebook only to find out that I was right. Dottie Underwood. That is her name, Dottie Underwood. So, yeah, Dottie's... They didn't mention her last name in this. That's what I was looking for clarification. Is this that same Dottie? Because, like, Dottie, as soon as they said the name Dottie, I was like, wait, that name sounds familiar. Have I heard that name before? I'm pretty sure I have. And then I thought back to previous Marvel things that I've watched, and especially most recently, and then, click Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. No, Dottie's not in that. Agent Carter, that's another agent show, Agent Carter. Oh yeah, Dottie, there is a character in Agent Carter called Dottie, that's Dottie Underwood. She's like a, she's, I don't know if she's an assassin. I haven't gotten that, I haven't gotten far enough into Agent Carter to know exactly who Dottie is, so I don't know much about her character besides from the fact that she killed an assassin all by herself, and then she destroyed the body and stole his weapon, so she knows her shit. But I don't know. They recasted the actress for Dottie in this, which I don't know if Dottie would still be alive today. So I think if they wanted to make her look older, but not that much older, then they might recast for that purpose, like get someone older, but still someone who's, can relatively still play her, but I don't know if they're going to make her do any fighting in this, or if she's just going to be someone else, but Dottie, yeah, again, there's no clarification with the second name, with the surname, so for all we know, it could be Dottie Powers, or Dottie Smith or Rogers or something. Probably not Dottie Rogers, but you get my point. There's no obvious clarification as to whether it is that same Dottie, or maybe if it's like a descendant of Dottie. Maybe this is her daughter or something. I mean, the actress still looks considerably older, so I think maybe they did recast to keep up with the age. But I mean, she's from the same time Peggy's from, so she should look considerably older. Especially since Peggy back in Winter Soldier already looked like 90, almost 100 years old. So, yeah, and this is years after that. So, I don't know. I do not know. I think I need to, actually, continue watching Agent Carter. Agent Carter reactions will be returning. It will be returning. So you can keep an eye out for that. But I think I need to actually get further into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and actually see what Dottie's story is and who she is, to maybe understand to understand who she is, and also if it is in that case the same character involved in this show here. But we had Dottie, and I think she was suspicious. She was continuously suspicious. Of both Wanda and Vision. She was continuously suspicious of both Wanda and Vision, especially with the. I mean, she reacted too. She also kind of caught onto the radio, calling out to Wanda and calling out for Wanda's name and asking her that question. So Wanda, and then the radio bugged out, and then Dottie broke her glass and ended up cutting her hand and everything. But then after that, she seemed completely fine. So there's no guarantee. I think that, like, I think Monica and Dottie could be proof that people in that village are not just figments of Wanda's imagination, but they are also actually people who have been brainwashed by her and made to play along with her suburban life kind of mind game and stuff, and that's interfering with reality and everything. So yeah, because I think with Monica, she's a real person. So I think she cannot be dreamt up by her. She might be being pulled into her life, but then I think there might be then exceptions. I think, in other words, it could be exceptions. It could be real people as well, like Dottie, and maybe Agnes, the woman. I don't know if her name was Agnes in this one. I can't remember if they actually used that name for this one. But the nosy neighbor that Catherine Hahn plays, maybe her character and Dottie and Monica are the exceptions. Maybe they're the real people brainwashed by, will be being mind controlled by Wanda, but then the others, the other villagers are literally just like figments of her imagination, or people she's dreamt up, but then she can't dream up too much, or it'll implode, or I don't know. But maybe there's a balance. Maybe they're all being brainwashed. I don't know, but we gotta wait and see. So yeah, but Dottie, even towards the end of it, Dottie was kind of like, I think there was only one glimpse we saw during their magic show that, that Dottie was suspicious, and the rest of the time she seemed kind of okay with it, and even at the end she kind of commended them and gave them the trophy, and they won and everything. So can't say she's too suspicious, but I guess we'll wait and see what other kind of theories or suspicions she has and how she joins into the color world now. So I think moving forward, I think we should be veering more towards towards a more modern kind of sitcom. So I wonder if they'll hit Friends, because I think Friends is that's actually a sitcom. I think it was last year. Yeah, I think it was mid last year. I think I actually got the box set and I actually watched through all of Friends during lockdown. So if they go into the 2000s, like I think Friends was in the 90s, like the late 90s and early 2000s. So I think if they go into Friends territory, oh my god, please do event like Friends but with the Avengers. Please bring all the Avengers back just to do Friends, please. That is a sitcom we deserve. That is the sitcom we deserve. Like if they do Friends, then I will die happy. But if they veer into that kind of time period, if they veer into a if they go into like a sitcom like Friends, then that might be the only one I actually recognize, having watched it all. So I don't know, but we are now nearing into color. So hopefully more recognizable kinds of shows and sitcom parodies and whatnot. So yeah, should be fun. And yeah, there was a commercial for a Hydra watch. There was a commercial. I think if I go back to it, it was halfway through. Yeah, it was around about here. Yeah, this guy and his wife, and the guy was wearing a Hydra watch. Like, it was called the Strucker. Like, as soon as I heard the name Strucker, I was like, wait, did I hear that right? Did they say Strucker? And then, yeah, so it's a Strucker with the kind of 2 dots and the actual cursive writing. So yeah, the Strucker, Swiss-made Hydra 1000M. I don't know what that means, but there's Hydra and there's the Hydra symbol too. The Hydra kind of, like tentacles and thing, which if Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fans will know is, also to do with the cult. But yeah, Strucker. There's the Strucker. I don't know. I mean, these seem like fun little Easter eggs. These very much seem, because I think even now, like you'll get like if you're watching sitcoms, then you'll actually get some channels like that air the sitcoms, but then they actually have breaks in between. They actually have commercial breaks in between as well. So I think this could also be stylized after that, because like the first episode we actually had the toaster oven that was like multifunctional and it was made by Stark Industries, and now this time we have a watch made by Hydra, which is Swiss made, and it's called the Strucker and everything. So yeah, I think it could be parodying off that. So like making commercials for things that exist in the Marvel universe made by Marvel companies and everything. So or like this just like within that kind of lore. So yeah, so we have the Stark Industries toaster, the multifunctional Stark Industries toaster, and now we have the Strucker Hydra watch. So yeah, and I think I love that little note too. It's not enough to just put Hydra. You actually have to put the skull and tentacles in too, just so people actually know. Yeah, it's that Hydra, not just any old Hydra. It's that Hydra. So that is a very cool Easter egg. So that was fun. And yeah, it was fun seeing Vision and Wanda actually trying to fit in with the rest of the neighborhood. Vision going to the neighborhood watch meeting and getting along with the lads and getting on some neighborhood watch gossip going on, and then there was Wanda going to the, I don't know what it officially was, but it was a meeting of the supposedly the mothers, or at least the ladies of the I keep almost calling it a village. I forget it's actually like a neighborhood and not like a village, because when I say village, I visualize like straw huts and really old fashioned like medieval stuff. But I keep feeling it's like a neighborhood. It's a suburban American neighborhood. So the ladies of the neighborhood, I think not all of them, or at least not any of them, are really mothers, but they were doing like the neighborhood fundraiser thing to raise money for the nearby elementary school, which we never saw. We just knew that the fundraiser was for the elementary school. So they had stuff, and Wanda had fun fitting in with them, and she went there with Agnes. She actually had drinks and stuff with Agnes, and swapped little idle gossip and chat with Agnes, and then with Geraldine too. So yeah, like keeping up that kind of pretense of them being like a married couple and them trying to fit in as normal people and everything. It was really fun. And yeah, Vision is allergic to gum. Vision can't have gum because if he, I mean, to be fair though, the guy in charge did slap him on the back, so then that sent the. I mean, you would think if he slaps him on the back, that would send the gum flying out of his mouth, but apparently, with Vision's anatomy, with Vision's physiology, it sends the gum even further down his mouth, and it gets caught up in his cogwheels and stuff like that. So. Yeah, and I think I like that very, very cartoony diagram. I think, especially the opening too. I just remember the opening was very, very cartoony, and it seemed so familiar. The opening sequence seemed so familiar. Like it was clear, like just like last time, it's parodying like an actual sitcom opening. But I don't know what opening that was. I think I wanted to say Fuller House, but I've never seen the Fuller House opening, or at least I've only ever seen it once, and I don't remember it well enough to actually concretely place it as, oh yeah, that's the Fuller House opening, but. Yeah, I mean, I would not be surprised if they did parody Fuller House, because for one thing, it is a sitcom, and also Elizabeth Olsen's sisters actually worked on this. So, I mean, yeah, Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen worked on the Fuller House as kids. They became child stars from that, and then I think there's actually a story Elizabeth Olsen told that she would actually go to, like, be behind the scenes on that show, like, without actually being on the scenes, or without being on camera. She would actually go behind the scenes of the Full House. I think I would not be surprised, like, for those two reasons, if they would actually parody Fuller House. I don't think this is it, because I think Fuller House was in color. But I think, to my knowledge, Fuller House was never a black and white sitcom. It was always in color. So now that they're going into the world of color, I think now they could be getting ready to go into Fuller House territory or something else. But the opening sequence, like it being, and like the art style of the animation seemed very, very familiar. So I'm curious as to what they were parodying there. But with this one, very different from the last one. With this one, we had a lot more kind of up close and personal framing, and like the cinematography of this one was a lot more kind of focal to the characters and their kind of faces and everything. Like with the last one, they tried to fit everyone into one single frame up until the tone shift came with the dinner scene and Mr. Hart choking. Like up until then, they only changed the camera angles for the tone shift, and then they reverted back to trying to fit everyone into one single frame. But with this one, the cameras aren't afraid to actually go onto one person, then the next, then cutting back again. So very different with that. So veering into other kind of styles and other shows already. So that is fun. That is very fun. So I think so far, I will say I love how they're approaching the sitcom style. I love how they're approaching the sitcom style. And I think, and especially for this kind of story too, I think it's a good way to actually to execute the whole House of M thing without actually going into House of M. Like the premise is obviously very similar to House of M, but they also want to have a little bit of fun within. Actually, try and let loose and try a new style, like plunge the characters of Wanda and Vision into like a new setting for a change and see how they and see how they cope in it. So it's very fun in that sense, and also just like Marvel doing a sitcom is something so unheard of, and I think especially for me as well, like for me, because like it's like since the Avengers came out, since the Avengers became a thing, there's been so many posts all across Tumblr, like so many fan posts of people wanting to see like domestic Avengers content and seeing like Avengers as a sitcom and comparing Avengers to various sitcoms and seeing which character would be which and what characters would do. So I think for this one, this is a lot more focal for Wanda and Vision, and this isn't like, this is very little, I'd say, like an actual like this is very little like a fan post or like a fan made kind of show. This is fan driven in the sense that fans want to see this and fans are interested in seeing this kind of adaptation, but it's also very, very kind of like fairly unique to Marvel in the sense that they are actually taking the creative control into their own hands, and they're actually stylizing it the way that they think works best for the story and for these characters. So in that sense, it's very, very kind of clever to see and very unique to see. So I love that already. I think because like sitcoms, I don't know if I could actually react to sitcoms like themselves. Like sitcoms are like for me personally, like especially with my experience with Friends, it wasn't a show I could actually easily react to, but it's actually something I could actually kind of internally, like mainly kind of feel the joy and feel the laughs and emotions in. But with this, because it blends in so well with the Marvel content we get as well, it feels more natural and it feels like equally kind of enjoyable. So because of that, I think the way that Marvel are executing it so far actually works well. I think it actually works well. So yeah, we can definitely look forward to seeing more of what WandaVision has in store for us in future episodes. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. But yeah, that is it. This one was a lot more action. Like, this one was packed with a lot more content, a lot more stuff to enjoy, a lot more stuff to analyze and kind of theorize about. So I am grateful to Marvel for that, for giving us like one episode that was lighter and like a great introduction, but also kind of giving us straight away like another episode. I think because this one, I think getting these 2 episodes in one go feels better because it actually kind of gives us like individual tastes of both, like one taste that's like purely sitcom, or at least mostly sitcom, and then like another episode to give us a taste of actually what happens when you mix the sitcom and the drama together, like teasing us a bit more with the drama, actually showing us what's going on outside of what we actually see, and also just giving us a taste of how Marvel actually handles sitcom with their sci-fi stuff. So it's great. It's really, really great. So I can't wait to see what's in store for us in the rest of this season. That is pretty much all I have for this episode of Marvel's WandaVision, so I will see you guys next week with the next episode of Marvel's WandaVision. But yeah, that is it. So as always, thank you guys so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn a like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what your theories are for what's coming up next on WandaVision. And once again, if you guys want to catch the full-length reaction, that one will be over on Patreon, so you can go check that over there. And yeah, that is it. So, I will see you guys next time.